total action.
This is our environment. I mean, not only
These are the stories of fighters that
The people have spoken. They want more RFC. RFC Fight Night, it's coming back. And this time, it's showtime. RFC 27, showtime. In the main event, Jin La Pulga Herrera versus Jarrett Thundercat Crawford. July 27 in Alacar Pavilion in Tampa. Brought to you by NSV. Live on TV Vision.
Welcome to RFC Real Talk at its best. I'm your host, Ralph Garcia. My co-host to my right, Chris Hickman. To my left, matchmaker extraordinaire for RFC, Joe Valdez. We have Ricky Bennett, RFC veteran over here. We have Mike Rideout, also RFC veteran, fighting on the next card coming up in 2 weeks. And special guest today, Boom Boom Vukovic in the house.
Emphasis on special, Ralph, right?
Yeah. Okay, all right. Today we're going to go over a lot of topics, then we're going to finish off with the main card coming up, RFC Showtime, which is next Friday. We got first up, prospect coming up, AMI prospect of the year, or for the month, is Ivan Duvall, who's out of World Class Martial Arts, my gym. Tough kid. He's got a tough opponent coming up. What do you think about Ivan's watching all his amateur fights that you've seen, Joe?
Well, he's tough. He's good. That's what I love about the amateur fight. Ivan has a wrestling background. He's exciting. He brings it. Amateur really doesn't play into his fight game too much because there's no ground to pound, and he gets everybody on their back. So I think he's going to set in real well in the pro ranks.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He comes from a traditional background, and he's real. I think 2 or 3 time state champion wrestling. Just tough. He's had some tough opponents too. It wasn't like an easy route in his AMI fights. He's fought a lot of tough dudes. He fought Danny Ventura in his last title defense. Before that, when he fought for the title, he fought Chris Colbert, who's out of Frontline Fitness, another tough prospect. What have you heard about Ivan?
Ivan, it seems like he's that next generation of fighters, that the guys that we thought about when we were 10, 15 years ago in the sport. The kids that this is all they've known is MMA. He comes from a traditional background, but he can put it all together. Whereas before you had boxers who had to learn stand-up and guys that come from different backgrounds. Now it's intermixed so well that this is the next evolution of MMA.
Yeah, I agree. Ivan, like you said, he puts it all together. A lot of guys, remember back in the day, would either be a good striker and have some takedown defense, or a good ground guy and try to wrestle you down, but their stand-up wasn't too good. This next generation's coming up, especially with all the AMI fights we've been having here in Florida. You see all these guys coming up, they're all well-rounded, they're good everywhere. So there's no easy fights anymore. And the more we give it time, a couple more years, we're going to have so many more prospects coming up.
I love the AMI fights. You guys go with AMI?
Yeah, we had to travel to like Louisiana and some backyard stuff to get amateur fights. No boxing commission, basically show up same
Come
day.
on, we used to hang out in Alabama at some of those events. It was fun.
It was really rough.
A few banjos. I mean, it was.
And then we had to basically just do every single grappling tournament that we could find. There was really no amateur fighting within a reasonable drive. So to have it now in the state of Florida is just awesome.
You guys are lucky now.
Yes.
Have to start out pro.
Yes.
Can we get
Exactly.
some amateur fights, guys?
He had lots of amateur fights. You got to remember, this guy probably has 100 amateur boxing fights. That's what a lot of guys don't know about this guy. Before he ever stepped foot in the ring as a professional, I had this guy fighting back when they were doing the tough man boxing, except it was like scheduled workout practices. This guy was mandatory that he'd come on Wednesday nights and fight 2 to 3 times. So by the time
It's not giving too much credit. I feel that head getting bigger here.
No, unfortunately, Joe was born that way.
But not only that, Chris, but at your gym, we always talk about this, you and Tommy down there, they always bang. So it's like having a real fight session every time you guys train.
Yeah, a lot of amateur fights in there, yeah.
Yeah, Boom Boom, not to put you in a spot, but give us a story about maybe banging with Tommy Trauma or something in the gym.
There's 20 million stories you can talk about with Tommy hitting people. The classic is we're only going 25%. When he says we're only going 25%, that means exit the building, stage left, because there's going to be leather hitting you in the face soon, and it's definitely not 25%.
A little more than 25%.
Definitely not 25%.
That's good. That's good.
All right, also, since we're on the subject of you guys' gym, there's Dex Christmas coming up here. He looked really awesome in his first pro fight. We have him as a pro fighter of the month, and he's going to be fighting on
Top
the RFC next, or prospect. He's going to be fighting on the RFC card next Friday also, but his nickname is the Evil Elf.
The Evil Elf. This kid, I mean, to look at him, he's so cute and cuddly, but this kid is he's legit. His wrestling, when he can take someone who's over 200 pounds and pick them up and dunk them on their head and be legitimate about it, not, you don't have to worry about, that's the one thing with Dex. He actually wrestled in college. He does come from pedigree wrestling, and he's worked hard. This kid has done manual labor ever since he was a little kid. His family owned a business that required utilities and that, and he actually is a manual labor kid that gets out there and doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. So when it's time for workouts, he's the first in there. He's one of the last kids to leave. And this fight with Ryan Seals is just a great opportunity for him to showcase his skills.
What's his amateur record?
You got to think, Dex actually had 11 fights as an amateur, 10 and 1
that's good.
as an
I
amateur.
looked into that. And I definitely
That's
saw
good.
that.
And does he bang with Tommy and Boom Boom?
Believe it or not, he's not smart enough to say no. He does. He gets in there, and Mike hits him. It's just like watching dominoes. He hits him, comes right back, and he hits him, and he comes. But the one thing about Dex is that his compassion to help his teammates makes it real easy to want to help him. And that's the one thing about these kids now, that they're starting to understand that the team atmosphere, even though it's an independent sport, an individual based, if you don't have a team to support yourself, you're not going to do very well in the sport. Because
Well, you need it, the sparring partners,
Oh,
all
yeah.
that. Back in the day, in boxing camps, they have to pay sparring partners to come into their camp.
Well, if you think it's an individual sport, try training by yourself and then fighting. It would be absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
So you need your team. Your team is your family.
in this day and age, I couldn't imagine trying to do anything just, especially in MMA. We have guys that have come into our place and they've been part of other facilities and programs before, and they've actually had pro fights, and they don't do nearly as well as you'd think they would against our amateurs. And it's just because, like you discussed earlier, we put our guys under pressure on a regular basis, and that's what forges them. Makes them a lot stronger competitors.
Yeah, the fight's always won in the gym.
Yep.
Speaking of that, his opponent is going to be Ryan Seals, who just fought Crawford in the last minute in the last RFC and showed a lot of heart. But now this is his true weight class, 125. And I got his teammates right here next to us. Tell us a little bit about Ryan preparing for this fight.
He's training. I don't train with him as much as the other guys do, because him and I are different weight classes. So, him and I normally don't train together. But he's in there with a lot of our guys. He's putting in time. He's putting in work, and it's going to be a tough fight for him. This Dex guy, I've seen the highlight reel on him. I've seen some of his fights. He's an absolute stud, and Ryan knows. Ryan knows where he's able to. Where he might be able to capitalize on the fight and potentially win this fight, and hopefully he sticks to his game plan and is able to execute.
Well, two great gyms. We got SPMF over here, and we got USA Martial Arts right here / Team Trauma. So both tough gyms, been around a long time. You guys' head trainer Shane Dunn, he's been here forever, and you guys have been around forever. So a lot of top fighters, and you guys probably fought each other a bunch of times.
And I'm excited for this fight because this is one of those fights that, Ryan started off at 55. And he's worked his way down down to his true weight class at 125. That's a lot of weight to lose, but he's going to be so much stronger because he's not having to give up anything to the other guys.
I believe he made his pro debut at in 2008 or something like that. 2009 at a one show dream organization at 155 pounds, and he did well. And he won the first round, and then he realized that he was pushing around a guy that was 155 pounds, and the gas tank quickly ran out, and I believe he got finished in the second. But
in all fairness too, he took the fight with Crawford on very short notice.
Yeah.
He stepped right up. We compromised. We made some weight changes at the last minute, and I'll be honest, I just think he did exceptional, being that he did take the fight on short notice. And ring rust, you guys can all say, he hasn't fought in a while.
Yeah.
Stepping in there and fighting a kid who's fighting every 2 to 3 months, and
Yeah.
that's, it is definitely going to have its role.
well, that's one thing I can say about Ryan. He will fight anyone, any weight, and
And calls me about every month for the last
Yeah.
10 years looking for a fight.
if you say the sport's 80% mental, he's got that 80% mental side of it.
Yeah,
Definitely
when we
on
dropped Boom
lock.
Boom's opponent in Ocala, he first told me he'll take that one.
Yeah.
Anybody, anytime.
Yeah, next prospect, this is our fighter of the month, is Gian La Purga Herrera. He's fighting out of Banks MMA. Last month was Jared Crawford from USA Martial Arts. They're the main event next week on the Showtime RFC show. So let me ask you guys, from a different gym, give me your perspective on this fight. What do you think is going to happen with Gian and Crawford?
Fireworks, man. I mean, just the 135-pound division is just exciting, man. You can't go wrong. I mean, they're going to go out there and put on a show, a real show.
I haven't seen the guy from Banks MMA fight before, but I've seen, training pictures and some videos of him, and he looks like a really good athlete. He looks like a really athletic guy, and it should be interesting. 135-pound man, that's speed, and
They don't get tired.
They don't
It's
get tired,
non-stop
yeah.
pace. Looks like how I compared it when Jack Murphy dropped to 135, which he walks around anyways, and he fought Frank. I said it looks like two cats in an alley, and we used to call him the alley cat because he always survive something or lose something, but he always come back. You never get rid of Jack Murphy. Speaking of Jack, he's Jack's the what is it, fighter of
The blast from the past. How can you
Blast
forget
from
that?
the
That
past.
guy
blast
is
from the past.
That
Yeah.
guy is old school in the sense that he is a tough neck, true MMA fighter, true and true. He will fight anybody, anywhere, just like we were talking
Same
about.
thing.
Yeah,
Started at
fought,
155, came back. He probably should have been fighting in the 125 weight class here, now that we
Yeah.
have it. But back then, he started at 155. And I believe he used to weigh in with boots on and coins in his pocket, too.
He fought a Shapiro.
Yeah.
Frank.
Yeah.
It was for the
That
135
fight was-
title.
Yes.
That
Yes,
fight was
yes.
unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
That fight was. I was just like, he's still
he
in there.
gets
He
out
still
of
kept on
everything.
going. He was getting out of everything.
Alley
Just
Cat,
kept
we call him,
coming.
9
Yeah,
lives.
Alley
You
Cat,
can't stop
yeah.
him. Well, Jay Lee,
Remember when he fought
Jay Lee?
fight of
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Jay Lee had him in a
Rear choke.
We thought it was over.
We thought he was out, and he worked his way out of it.
Even when he got out of it, you see Jay Lee's eyes. The whole fight changed from that point on.
Yep.
Jay Lee changed.
Didn't he fight Lobster too? And I don't think Lobster.
Yeah, and that was
Fought Lobster, and Lobster
Yeah.
was probably, 20 pounds bigger than him?
Oh,
and he
yeah.
couldn't
and he didn't
finish
do
him.
nothing.
to
No
145.
submission
Right,
attempts.
You seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No submission attempts and no
Lobster
damage
was
on
way
Jack.
bigger than
Jack
him.
hit him with elbow off his back and cut him, and that was the most damage in the fight. He just won that fight because of takedowns, and it was a split decision.
Yeah.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, but let's go here. Trainer of the month, another guy from USA Martial Arts, Joe Sirocco. Where's he at?
Joe is, it's hard to pull him out of the gym. The guy is such a diehard, and he's had some family commitments tonight, but Joe is there every day of the week, 7 days a week. I mean, as a coach, Joe definitely lives it. I mean, Mike will tell you he's in there. He's on your butt whether you want him to be or not. He rides the guys, but he looks out for them. I mean, and he's a good mentor type person. So as coach of the month, he's definitely deserving of this, recognition, but also the fact that he's a competitor himself. This guy is 51 years old and still gets out there and does MMA with the guys that are in their 18, 19, 20s.
Wow.
So he's in there.
He looks to me like he's a workhorse.
Oh, very much so.
You
I thought
tell
he-
him
I thought he's
what to
48.
do, and he's
Yeah.
focused. He's on you guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, in the sport anymore, I've been in the sport 13 years now. There's not too many people that I respect as much as Joe Sirocco.
That's how I feel about him.
It's just phenomenal what he gives back to the sport, and he doesn't ask for much in return. Just a little bit of respect, and the ability and the want to learn how to train to be a champion and to fight like a champion.
And Michael attests to this. When Joe first came to us, almost about 10 years ago now, he was the smallest guy in there with monsters. Everybody was 200 plus pounds, and
He still
everybody.
is the
And
smallest guy.
he has been, and Joe would get thrown from one side of the mat to the next. But he is a student of the sport, and he has studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's achieved his brown belt in BJJ now. He's
And that's
his
under
kicking-
Beto Nunes,
Yeah, out of
right?
Beto Nunes, which
Beto's
is in the
guys.
De La Riva Association. And with our jiu-jitsu, it's geared toward MMA, but it is strictly Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So the guys that come into our place that have been training as long or if not longer, I get a chance to see what they do with our guys, and not one, especially Joe. Joe's not the kind of guy that's just going to roll over and die for anybody, but it's kind of great because he can take applications that we've taught in class and apply it. He can take and he can then pass it on. As a coach, you know how easy that is. It's one thing to be a technician. It's another thing if you can pass that knowledge on.
Yeah.
And main thing, let me tell you, if Mr. Joe tells you he's gonna do something, take it to the bank, he does it, bro. You don't have to ask that guy twice.
Yes, sir. All right, real quick, off old school gym, Berto's gym, over here at Tigers Wood in Winter Haven. Old story, because you wanted to come over old story. We're gonna tell about Patrick getting a call last minute, day before weigh-in, saying, "Hey, Patrick, put that sandwich down."
He was eating a Big Mac, actually. The old man called him up, told Edson, "What are you and Patrick doing?" "We're at McDonald's. He's eating a Big Mac. Dad, we're eating why?" He goes, "Tell him to drop that Big Mac. He has a weigh-in the next day. Start cutting weight."
I think he had to drop 10 pounds too and fight out of his weight class, which was 170 instead of 155.
And his mom never knew he fought. His mom called looking for him. Never knew he was fighting that day.
Yeah, she called. She was blowing his phone up the next day and couldn't get a hold of him. She was worried. And then finally she got a hold, I think, of Nana. And Nana goes, "Oh, he's fighting."
And that sounds like the Berto family, though, because of the fact that we all know if Mama's happy, everybody's happy. Mama's not happy, nobody's happy. And that's just very much the situation. And Coach Berto we've been together now, 16, 17 years now. And the one thing, though, is even with Edson and Patrick and these kids, they don't have easy fights. We were talking that before this episode started. And he pushes them both inside, and he makes them compete to test their skill.
Yeah, real quick. I know we're going to commercial
We'll be right back
break.
after this commercial break, guys. Welcome back to Real Talk, RFC at its best. We have special guest Boom Boom Vukovic over here. We got matchmaker extraordinaire Joe Valdez. We got Chris Hickman, my co-host. We got Mike Rideout, who's fighting next week. And we have Ricky Bennett, RFC veteran, looking to get back at a different weight class. 135, I don't know, that's what I've heard. But we're going to go over the card. We'll
Talking
get over
about
that.
135 pounders. You
He's
want to
going
listen
to
to
have to
this
cut off
next
an
one?
arm or a leg, but it could be done.
I'm gonna be the biggest 135er out there.
Talking about
I like it.
135 pounders.
I like it.
Here we go.
All right, guys, going over the card for next week. We're going to start with the main event. We have Gian La Purga Herrera versus Jarrett Crawford. Okay, tough fights for the 135 Florida title, which used to be Frank's title, but Frank, how do you say his last name? Shaparvo. I guess, I don't know if he retired or whatever. He relinquished it when he fought in Bellator, but I haven't even heard anything about Frank. So the title's already got some prestige because Frank won the belt from, we were just talking about him, Jack Murphy. And then he went on the Bellator, so he went on to bigger and better things. So now they brought the title back, and these two guys, everybody's expecting big things from them, both being undefeated fighters. Let me get the feedback from you guys. What do you guys think is going to happen in this fight? Who's going to win? And is it going to be a finish, or is it going to be a decision?
I gotta go with Crawford for the wrestling. I'm a wrestler, and I just got faith in it, man. They're just the hardest training dudes out there.
Didn't you go for Chael Sonnen also?
I always go for Chael. Chael's the president. Are you kidding me? Come on, Chael. Team Chael.
So you're saying if Gian comes out, wipes the Vaseline all over his arms, grabs shorts and all that he's not going to win?
Crawford's still gonna win.
What do you think, Mike? Since you're on this card too.
I'm gonna go with Crawford for the single reason that he beat a teammate of mine.
Wow.
So
Two for Crawford.
I want to see the guys that beat me and beat my guys keep going on and winning. So I'm gonna go with him.
This fight is awesome for so many reasons. Both of these kids have changed so much since they started. They both have developed as fighters. You do interviews with them now. They actually have personalities instead of talking to rocks. I think both of them have grown up a lot of bit because they're both in their early 20s when they started with this. Both of them were at past where they had to make major life choices, and they both chose MMA.
They both made a lot of sacrifices.
Lapoga was looking to go into the military. He was either going to be a fighter or go into the military. Coming from California, he had some trouble, childhood problems, and the MMA saved him. With Jarrett, it basically gave him a direction, and much like Gian, these two together are big things are gonna happen. I'm thinking it's gonna go 3 rounds, and it's gonna be, probably gonna be either a stoppage or a TKO.
I really wanted this fight to be a 5-round fight.
It
because
should have, and we
title.
were expecting it at first, but I mean, it actually makes it even better because the crowd doesn't lose interest. 5-round fights are so hard,
Yeah, I
and you
think
guys
so.
have all. I mean, you guys are waiting for that bell to ring so you can go get a bathroom break. I mean, now 3 rounds, 5 minutes. These kids are gonna go at it.
They're gonna pour it
nonstop.
out for 3.
And I think
3
that you're
rounds.
gonna see someone, and you can attest to this, Joe. These guys that get hurt sometime during the fight. Look at Barrow when he fought Patrick.
Broken arm. in the
Broken
first
arm,
round.
and that's what I'm saying. But he kept fighting. That's the kind of heart these two, Jared and Gian, possess. And I think you're going to see some exciting stuff, and probably going to see some stuff you haven't seen yet out of either one of these kids.
I think they're going to take it to another level, both these guys, and they both have backgrounds, grappling tournaments, amateur MMA. They both have amateur MMA. Crawford was a wrestler, so they got a lot of experience besides their pro undefeated records. These guys, this is what they want to do for a living.
All right, now you got all the professional
got his
opinions.
pick.
Now
Hold
we're
on,
going to
you
get.
didn't get him.
Hold on, I'm giving the introduction. Now we're going to get the truth from Vukovic.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk with Boom
Going
Boom.
down.
Real talk, people. This fight is going to be a boring fight. For crying out loud, the Thundercat is going to beat the Plug, whatever the heck this jabron's name is. He's going to probably tap him out in 2 minutes and 37 seconds of the very first round, and then we're all going to go to the bar and drink beer.
It can't be that boring if it only goes 2:30.
It's going to be just a takedown. A
Takedown
takedown straight
right to
into a submission, and the Plug is going to cry and go home, and that's it. I mean, what? You want me to sugarcoat it? I mean, what do you want me to do here? Next fight.
Talk.
All right, that's as real as we can get.
That's how it's going down.
Next fight, our co-main event, we have Alex Ambush Cruz versus some guy named Mike Rideout from SPMF. I don't have a
Never
pick
heard
on
of
this
that
one
guy.
yet, but Alex Cruz told me he's gonna knock this dude out first or second round. I don't know. That's just what I'm heard, but I'm not one to gossip, so let me get it from you guys over here.
Come on, training partners. You don't have anything.
Man, I hope Alan Cruz brings a baseball bat because he's gonna need it. That's all I got to say.
Well, now last fight, he says he was hurt, that you didn't fight the Alex Cruz that was at 100%. Okay, is that how you feel that the fight went
I
down?
mean, I'm no excuse. I hit him with everything I had.
Yeah. Okay.
I hit him with everything I had. He was still standing right in front of me. I mean,
Some beautiful right hands.
yeah, I was very one-dimensional that fight because the big right hand landed and it landed again, and then I just basically was just
You're content.
I was just throwing a right
Right.
hand. I wasn't boxing. I wasn't setting anything up behind my jab. I was not throwing combinations. I was not wanting to be engaged in a clinch. You
Right.
look like a big, powerful guy, and I stayed on the outside and hit him with right hands, and I hit him flush every time, and he never dropped. So it's going to be a tough fight.
I mean, looking at your training resume, you train at what, 5 gyms?
Yeah, I train with Shane Dunn, SPMF, 2 or 3 days a week. And I train with Hobson Mora, Novo União. I train with Hobson a lot. And he's got a guy in from Novo União, Brazil, Tatea.
A world-class organization right
World-class
there.
guys. The guy holds pads for Jose Aldo, all the big name guys, Pedro Rizzo. And, I've been sparring, a legit 185 pounder for a while now. And then I also train at 4th Street Boxing and with a lot of heavyweight pros, a lot of really lighter guys. I haven't won a single round sparring, and that's fine.
I think that makes you better, Mike.
Yeah, I
A lot of
don't,
props to you. There's a lot of guys who won't walk in a boxing
That's
gym.
the thing is I can lose, I get submitted, 20, 30 times a night by these Brazilians. I don't win a single round with these pro boxers, but as long as I win the fight, an MMA fight.
That's how you get better, man.
That's all I care about.
Yeah, mad props, man. I didn't know you trained at that many different places. I knew you
Yeah.
trained with Hobson, and I knew you trained with
I
SPMF.
train at 3 gyms, Hobson's new school is, he's not only doing no-gi and gi jiu-jitsu, he's doing Muay Thai. He's been working with me, Tatea, Hobson, myself, the 3 of us. We've been getting in there, 2 or 3 times a week, just working the 3 of us together.
I'm excited about this fight, just for the reason that you guys fought a couple years back. You guys are both two different fighters now, so I think it's gonna be a whole different fight.
Yeah, it's
Both you guys have evolved, so.
you know who's evolved. You know who's evolved more. And you know, like I said, Alex is a tough guy. He's
tough
he's
as
not
nails.
like you might look at him and you might think that he's just like, you know, he looks big and tough, but he's physically strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's guys that aren't that don't look like that and are physically strong. He looks like that and he is.
There's a lot of
physically
guys
strong.
who do look like that are not physically
Right.
strong
Right.
when you
He's physically strong.
Right. He looks like a bodybuilder, but
Right.
he's physically strong, and he has a gas tank
Right.
for being so
Yeah,
muscular. He
absolutely.
does,
And, you know,
and
for-
he comes from a tough place. He's had a tough life.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah,
they put him in the army over there in Honduras when he's 8 years old.
Yeah.
They take you out of the house.
Yep.
He's had a
They
rough
have an
life.
army? They have an army in
Absolutely.
Honduras?
I guess it's called an army.
But but I mean, you know, the fight might not play out the same way that it played out before. You
Yeah,
know,
I think it's gonna be different. Yeah.
It's probably gonna end up being a different fight, and if you know if he thinks I'm going in there with the same game plan, I'm not. So we'll just see how it goes. It's gonna be a tough fight though, but you know I'm pretty confident, and I hope to get the win.
All right, let's get the real talk here from Boom Boom.
Let's talk turkey.
The man has just given away his game plan. And we won't go there. This guy named Ambush, how many guys are you fighting? 1 or 5? He's a Muay Thai guy. This guy's gonna take that guy down and beat the piss out of him. And he's this guy. Second round.
He's very humble.
Mike's gonna win.
Okay.
Mike's gonna win second round.
You heard it here from Boom Boom.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Put that down.
Next fight.
Write that down. Second
Our
round.
next
fight.
Our next fight, we got Ricardo Rodriguez and Wapo versus Jamie Quakenbush from Tigers World in Winter Haven. And Jamie's already fought for the RFC a few times, so he's already an RFC veteran, and he's a tough, scrappy kid. Started at 155, and now he's at 145. Looks way better at that weight class. What do you guys think about Jamie?
I was supposed to fight Jamie before my injury, and you still want to get that fight. You know, it's like it's not over yet. So I hope he wins. And
So did someone hit you with a baseball bat before that fight? Or what happened?
yeah, I got hit with a big baseball bat named Anthony Johnson. But you know, I hope he takes it, and I'd love to come back and get down on that, and then settle that score, and then go on about it.
So you're saying when you say go on about it, you're talking about 135?
Yeah. Oh, we're definitely going to 135. That's definitely in the near future.
What do you think about that, Mike?
Ricardo fought a teammate of mine, and
Right? What gym is Ricardo?
Ricardo fought Anthony, correct?
Team Elite out there in San Pete.
Yeah. Okay, with Alex Cruiser.
I thought he did. And Ricardo fought Art of Fighting at Janice Landing?
Yes,
Yes, he
yes,
fought
yes.
a teammate of
Yeah,
mine,
okay,
Anthony.
okay, you're right.
Had an amateur Muay Thai
Yeah,
background too, and
Anthony,
MMA.
Anthony got him pretty good. Ricardo's good on the ground though, and he'll pull guard. You know, if he gets in the clinch, I've seen him. You know, I've seen him do it. He'll pull guard a couple times, and he's really confident in his triangles and his arm bars, and that put him in a bad position against our guy. Our guy was wanting that position. Our guy was wanting to be in his guard, and he made it really easy for him. So he jumped guard and was, you know, the fight was pretty much over after that. But yeah, he's got good jiu-jitsu. But I'm gonna go with this Jamie guy because
Quakenbush?
Ricky said so.
Okay.
I look at it could go either way, and this is take me with Quackenbush. He likes to slug it out. On the ground, he's still suspect because he's still developing, and that's one of the, I think the holes in his game is that he still has that vulnerability on the ground to make a hasty movement and cost himself an armbar or a triangle. And I think that's pretty much what we're looking at here. If it hits the ground,
This
I
kid's
would put
good. This kid's got a good triangle. So
to Rodriguez. Otherwise, I think Jamie could take it standing up.
Okay.
You know, we know Jamie's tough as nails. You know the team he comes from. He's been getting his butt kicked by Edson and Patrick there for years. He's not the most skilled guy in the world. He's taking time. He's learning. He is getting better, but he's solid at.
All right, real
fighter.
talk time. Boom, boom.
Lay it on thick.
It's a horrible day when you have to go against Berto's guy. It really is a horrible day when you have to go against Quaker.
Quakenbush.
Quaker. I said it right, Quaker. Leave me alone.
Where are you going? Because the Muay Thai? You just did with this guy,
Well,
Ricardo?
you guys are talking like Quaker here is not experienced on the ground, but a Muay Thai guy. I don't know either one of these guys personally, but I'm going with Guadalupe, whatever his nickname is.
It's not even.
Ricardo Rodriguez.
I can't even figure out these nicknames these guys come up with. This list is incredible to me.
Next fight we have on the
Words.
card, we have Jesus Rivera, a fighter from Alaska. He's been training a lot with Combat Factory with Jeff out there. And he's going against Sean Nightmare Hollis. Okay, what do you guys think about this fight? Quick picks.
Woo! Man, those two, they squared off here last month, and I thought that
press conference.
it was interesting.
Look
The
what he
press
did.
conference, and I think Hollis is coming out to make a point.
I like Hollis. That dude looks like a monster. I mean, he looks ready to go.
Yeah.
These are the 185 pounds.
No, these 205ers.
Monsters.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures of this. The guy from Banks is.
I think Jesus, don't sleep on Jesus, man. I've been watching him.
I don't know the other
Yeah, he
guy.
came up and sparred a couple times. He's actually pretty decent stand-up,
Yeah.
man. So, I mean, he's already got fights too. I think he's 3-3 or something like that.
3-3 as a pro.
So this is Sean's first pro fight. So
But with striking to the face on the ground, do you think that Jesus can handle Sean's power?
I know I've seen one of Hollis's fights, and that's it, and he didn't go to the ground. So I don't know. What do you guys think on this one, Jesus or Hollis?
Hollis is a Tampa fan favorite. I don't pick the fights. I'm just Jesus. It's a lot for Hollis to take on for his first pro fight. A guy that's 3-3. It's a tough fight. Tough fight.
But he has amateur experience too, I think.
He
that-
does have
I
amateur
mean,
experience.
he
Most of these
is-
guys on the
yeah,
card have
he's-
amateur
he's
experience.
coming strong. I
He's
think.
strong as hell. He's in shape for
Self-motivated
205
and
pounds.
promotes-
Can somebody check the air conditioning in here? This man's getting hot. What are you talking about? Sean's gonna murder this kid. Alaska 3-3? Who fights in Alaska? Nobody. This guy's 3-3 in Alaska? Really? Sean's gonna murder this guy and give him nightmares. I got nightmare all the way. Like I'm talking 22 seconds. Get him out of here. Send him back to
You heard it
Alaska.
here.
Next fight. Next
All right,
fight.
You
guys,
heard it.
we'll be
Next
right back
fight.
with the rest of the card after this break. Welcome back to RFC Real Talk at its best. Going over the rest of the card for RFC Showtime, which is next week. Fight number 5, we have Phil Daru out of American Top Team with Dean Thomas versus Ivan Duval out of World Class with trainer Ralph Garcia, which is me. Let me get you guys' opinion on this fight. Let's make it quick because we got to go over 5 more fights.
Let's go, Ivan. Come on.
Absolutely.
3-round war.
I think so too. I've been hearing nothing but good things about Phil Daru. He's a tough kid. Comes in to scrap. Ivan's the same way. This is going to be fight of the night. What do you guys think?
Tough fight. They're both. We know about Ivan with his amateur background, his wrestling background. He was an amateur MMA champ. Phil Daru comes from Dean Thomas's school. He's the strength and conditioning coach there. Tough fight.
Who has the hottest girlfriend?
Probably
Who has the hottest girlfriend?
Ivan.
Ivan? Well, if Ivan gets some play before the fight, the night before, he's going to lose.
He's actually been holding out for 2 weeks.
Did you hear that?
If he
Coach?
holds out for
Did you
2
hear that,
weeks,
Coach?
that's a Boom Boom special. Boom Boom does not have relations 2 weeks before a fight. If Ivan
Because
goes,
he don't want
that's old school, Daddy.
if
That's
Ivan,
old school.
that's Mr. Birdo, though.
That's old school.
That's old school
Mr.
coach right
Birdo.
there.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you now.
Let him find out.
That's what all the old fighters
Two
said.
weeks before a fight, no action. If Ivan can go 2 weeks before the fight with no action, he's going to win the fight. Period.
And then he's going
Next
to
fight.
run out of the cage and
Next
head
fight.
home.
That's fine.
Coach, you got
Next
that
fight.
All right.
All right, guys. Fight 4. We got Vince McInnes versus Jose Lagour, who's out of Champions MMA out in Lakeland. What do you guys think about this fight?
McGinnis comes from he had a solid kickboxing background.
champion.
He's with
So,
Frontline,
yeah.
Frontline Fitness.
So it's gonna be, I'm looking at this kid's got some skills. So, I mean, if he can keep it on his feet, I mean, champions though, I mean, Ross produces good, talented kids, so it's going to be a good war. But again, I'd have to give it, to McGinnis as far as the stand-up goes.
Yeah, I
Just too much
think it's
experience.
a classic striker versus grappler. Even though Jose's got amateur boxing experience, it's just one of those things. He's more comfortable on the ground, and I've
Right.
seen him at Copa. He's went through the absolute and went against guys like Cyborg and people like that. That he shouldn't even be at that level, and he does pretty decent against guys.
Well, that's impressive.
What do you think, Rick?
I have to go with the grappler. Love grappling, man. Just how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know any of these guys. Ross has got really tough guys, and you say the other guy's a really good striker.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
he trains with
kickboxing
Jeremy
champion.
Thurlow out of Frontline Fitness.
If it goes 3 rounds, he's got 3 opportunities to knock the guy out.
Good
every-
point, Mike.
So
Good point.
I'll go with the striker.
Good point.
Let's go, boom,
That
boom, real
may
talk.
be the smartest thing you've said all night, young man. 3 opportunities to knock this kid
That's a
on
good
his
point. I
ass.
like that one.
I think
That
that
is
needs
good.
to be quoted
That's
on
good.
Facebook.
That's good.
That's
I
good.
think he got something.
But
there.
always start
here we
standing
go
up.
in the upset special. I'm going with the grappler as well, but I'm going to turn front line to flat line. He's going to get knocked on his ass by Mr. J, and that'll be the end of the fight. It'll be sometime late second round.
Late second
Next
round
fight.
knockout.
Next.
Fight number 3, we got Dex the Evil Elf Christmas out of USA Martial Arts versus Ryan Seals out of SPMF. Let's start off with Ryan's teammates.
Gotta give it up for my boy Ryan, man. Dude's got a heart the size of his head.
Yes, he does.
That's a tough dude, So, gotta give it for my man.
I want to see a good fight, and I'll say Ryan. He's my teammate.
You better go for your teammate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that'd be hell in practice next week if you don't. So
Oh, you can say what you really think. It doesn't matter.
No, it's real talk.
Sit
I'm
next to
sorry.
you.
It's real talk. No, this Dex
From now
guy-
on, I'm not even gonna say I mean no disrespect.
No,
I'm gonna say it's
call
real
it-
talk.
I call it like I see it. Ryan's a brother of mine. We train every single day. This Dex kid's a stud.
He's got
Yeah, he's solid. He's
got his
It's
hands
going
full.
to be a tough fight, and
But-
Ryan knows it's going to be a tough fight.
Ryan showed me how tough he was though when he took those repeated elbows and he didn't want to stop.
He didn't want
the
to.
doctor.
No,
The
not
doctor.
at all.
I mean, to take an elbow is one thing, but multiple elbows to the head and then keep wanting to fight,
Yeah.
guys. I mean, even in practice, you catch an elbow and you see
Yeah.
little fuzzies. You don't want to. I mean, that's hard.
Chris,
thing
from a
with
guy
Ryan-
that's bigger and stronger than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From a guy that's bigger and stronger.
This, you guys are right though. The Dex kid, Dex Christmas comes in. He is a talented wrestler who's learning the jiu-jitsu game, and he's actually won at the Naga level, and he's done some stuff with, his hands. But he's just developing, and he's getting older. I think this is what you're going to see here is old school versus new school here. This matchup is, because Ryan's been around quite
Been
a
around
while
the game
now.
for a while.
He's been with Shane for a
and
long
Ryan
time.
has dangerous submissions.
Dangerous.
He does.
He had Jared in a
So-
couple triangles
Yeah,
during
so, I
that
mean,
fight. so.
that's
Mr. Boom Boom?
Oh, shit.
Hey,
Well,
What do you guys?
basically, his teammates are over there saying this guy sucks. So we're doing Dex Christmas because, they all but said, hey, my teammate, can't give any good, hey, hits hard, good, and
Yeah, we're not gonna give you the game plan.
we don't need the game plan. I don't need the game plan.
and this, right?
I don't need the game plan. I don't need the game plan.
You got 2 teams fighting each other right here at the table.
should be interesting.
Christmas, no problem, a no doubter.
How?
Okay.
How does he finish him? How does he win?
Submission.
Double leg.
Actually, his boxing's gotten real good,
Submission or knockout?
real good. Huh?
Submission or knockout?
I don't know.
Why don't you guys put a friendly bet on the table?
I'll take it all day.
There it is. There it is. Right here, real talk at its best.
Oh, he put Boom Boom
There
on the
it
spot.
is.
Does
What do
he
you wanna
accept
do?
this?
What do you?
A beer.
We want to
at the
go
fight.
straight.
I don't drink.
Straight
No,
win.
that's what you better watch
Straight
out.
win.
You're gonna have to streak in there.
Straight win.
No, on that belt. On that belt.
Just win. Or are we talking
On this
finishing
spot
and
right
all
here.
everything?
Let's
Win.
go for the win. I'll
Win.
buy you a beer if your boy wins. You can buy me a Sprite if my boy wins.
There it goes.
Right.
On the rocks.
With the cherry.
On the rocks.
Only with a cherry.
On the rocks.
Only with a cherry. Can I see your butt afterwards too?
All right, guys, bout number 2.
From
Forgive
real
me,
to weird.
I
forgive me if I
wanna
mess up
spank
this
his
name.
butt.
We got Ivrim Todashev. Did I say that right, Joe?
Ingerbrin Todashev.
All right, I think we both messed it up. Sorry. Versus Brad May. I've seen Brad May fight before in the Battle of Tampa, Mike Yanez's show. tough kid. Fought a purple belt from Popovich and wasn't supposed to win that fight. Came back and submitted the guy in the second round. Tough fight. What do you guys got in this fight?
I like that Brad May if he beat anybody from Popovich and
Yeah,
Highlander.
I mean,
as far as I'm concerned.
Michael right out?
Yeah, Brad May, Gracie Baja guy. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go with him.
Now, the guy, Tadashev, is that how you say his name? He's Frank
Shaparval's cousin.
Shaparval's cousin.
Oh, that
Okay.
Trains with, yeah,
They-
trained by Bruce Connors and them out there.
Yeah.
That's a tough fight.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
he's
a tough fight.
he's
Sambo
Bruce
background.
Connors
We're gonna
guy?
have
No,
to,
I've
this
gotta go
card,
with-
Joe, you're making it hard though.
No, I'm going with the other guy. Bruce Connors is one of Hobson's guys, so I gotta go with that.
So
I
you-
gotta go with that.
Okay. And boom, boom.
Brad May's fought in Ocala, hasn't he?
I think, yeah, on
On Tom
Tommy's card.
Sowers?
I believe so, yeah.
Tom Sowers amateur card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had a
he's-
good amateur record,
Yeah,
yeah.
he sucks. I'm going with the other guy.
Wow.
Don't hold nothing
Next.
back, boom boom.
Getting real.
Next.
Real
And
talk.
the first fight of the night, you got Jason Vall versus Drew Cracky. Drew Cracky, another guy out of Champions MMA out of Lakeland with Ross Kellen. And Jason Vall is out of Full Circle MMA. What do you guys got on this?
I fought Drew. That kid is tough, man. He is strong, tough, well-rounded, and I'm sure he's come leaps and bounds from when we fought. Drew's my boy. I got Drew all day.
Yeah, I'd like to see Drew win.
I mean, he deserves it. That kid, work ethic is second to none. I mean, he is tough.
Yeah, he's been training hard, Ross.
Ross has put it to him because that kid has come out looking sharp.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
You
Keep
fought
it
this
real.
guy?
Yes.
Did he bust you open?
No.
You lying to me?
I didn't get hit once. In
What's this
15
kid's
minutes.
last name?
In 15 minutes, I
Cracky.
didn't get once.
Crack?
Crack.
Anybody that's got drugs as the last name, I'm definitely picking. I'm going Drew Crack.
Heard it here,
Champions
guys.
MMA, by God. And it's going to be, we'll go first round. We'll go 1 minute and 42 seconds in the first round. Thank you.
Armbar, Drew Cracky. Yep.
All right, real quick shout out to you guys to finish off. We have a couple RFC veterans fighting on Bellator tomorrow night here at USF Sundome. We have Ryan DeRocher out of Team Animal, wishing him
Yes.
the best of luck. Paul Burrows out of Defiant Daniels team, which is Team Dark Side, wishing him luck. And Tommy Trauma out of USA Martial Arts, wishing him luck, which he doesn't need. Any other finishing comments here? Sponsors, anything you guys want to
I'd
give a
like
shout
to
out?
thank 4th Street Boxing and Jim McLaughlin and my coach Christian Meyer, all the guys over there that I've been sparring with, Hobson Mora, Tatea, and of course Team SPMF and Shane Dunn.
Yeah, we also got to mention our awesome sponsors with NFE. I mean, those guys do nothing but support us, and they have a great product. I think that this whole card could be the NFE card if you think about it, because there's no friggin'
friggin'
excuses. These
excuses.
guys are all coming. They're all going to put on a good show, and I think
And I finally got some protein because I put them on blast last time on this show. They came and brought me some protein. So
Well,
it's
that's-
good stuff. Thumbs up for NFE. That it, Boom Boom?
I'd just like to say that I don't think Tom Sauer needs any luck this weekend because he's fighting Chris Barnett, the most overrated, horrible heavyweight in the history of MMA. So if you guys get a chance to come out tomorrow night to the Bellator and watch this fight, it's going to be great because he's going to get pounded. It's going to be awesome. Thank
All right,
you.
guys. Thank you for RFC Real Talk. Check us out, rfcmma.com. Peace.
See ya.
This is Total Action.
Our environment. I mean, not only